Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Natasha Kirchuk here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. This weekend saw a renewed wave of violence in Israel, as one Israeli was murdered and 5 more were injured in Palestinian terror attacks in both central Israel and the West Bank. On Friday, Rabbi Miki Malk was driving just south of Hebron with his family when his car was shot up by Palestinian terrorists. Their vehicle spun out of control and overturned, and Mark was killed. His wife was seriously injured and 2 of his teenagers were also wounded. Palestinian passerbys reportedly helped the surviving family members escape the vehicle and then protected them until medical teams arrived on the scene. Friday's attack came just a day after a Palestinian terrorist broke into an Israeli settlement in the West Bank and stabbed a 13-year-old to death. Just hours later, a Palestinian man stabbed and wounded 2 Israelis in Netanya. Wondering how the Israeli government has responded to the violence? Watch our main show at 2 p.m. Eastern Time to find out. The Nobel Peace Prize winner, Holocaust survivor, and human rights activist Elie Wiesel passed away on Saturday at the age of 87, after suffering from a prolonged illness. Wiesel survived both the Auschwitz and Buchenwald Nazi death camps and has written more than 57 books about his experiences. Perhaps the most well-known is Night, a memoir published in 1955 where he recounts the death of his family in the Holocaust. The Romanian-born author dedicated much of his life to Holocaust education and promoting tolerance around the world. To learn more about Elie Wiesel, tune into our main show at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Turkey dispatched its first ship sending humanitarian aid to Gaza over the weekend. The Panama flag ship called Lady Layla set sail from southern Turkey on Friday, carrying over 10,000 tons of humanitarian aid, including food and toys. The ship is expected to dock in Ashdod around noon on Sunday, and the families of 3 Israelis being held by Hamas are staging a protest against the shipment. The aid comes after Turkey signed a reconciliation agreement with Israel last week. Many Israelis are opposing the deal because it does not ensure that Hamas will return the bodies of 2 murdered IDF soldiers and 2 Israeli civilians. The Middle East Quartet has issued its long-anticipated report on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and it hasn't received much backlash from the Israeli government. The report blasts a Palestinian Authority leader for failing to consistently and clearly condemn terrorist attacks, while continuing to name streets and squares after Palestinian terrorists, and it even calls on the PA to combat terrorism. The quartet does condemn Israel, however. The report claims that Israeli settlements, demolition of Palestinian homes, and confiscation of land are steadily eroding the viability of a 2-state solution. Among the 10 recommendations outlined in the report, the quartet urges Israel to lift the blockade on Gaza and calls for restoring Palestinian Authority control over the Hamas-ruled enclave. The United States, the European Union, Russia, and the United Nations make up the quartet, and the report is intended to serve as a basis for reviving the Israeli-Palestinian peace process. That's all for now. I'm Natasha Kirchuk, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.